What's going on, guys? It's Ethan fl0wZ here from the K10 ownership team, and we are in an off season. We've got a very long time before we start playing again in Counter-Strike, in Val, in StarCraft. We've got our last event of the season coming up next week as well. So now is kind of the perfect time to sit down and do another one of these K10 update videos where I talk about everything that's going on in the brand, all of our plans for the future, different games, etc, etc. It's been a long time since I did one of these. I think the last time was, I want to say, December, maybe January. A lot has changed in those 6 months inside K10. We've been very busy, hence why I haven't done another one of these videos, but, you know, let's get into it. So, 2023 has been, so far, it's been a really good year. It's been loads of ups, a couple of downs, but in general, I think we could all say it's been very positive. We're planning to make the first 6 months almost like an explosion period for K10. You know, we'd go from no name org that nobody cares about to, you know, people know about us. People, you know, they kind of respect us, and, you know, we've got some pretty banger teams going on. And I think we've been very successful with that. Our StarCraft division has expanded exponentially. Our content gain has gone up and up thanks to some amazing additions to our back-end team. So that's been really good. And then with results for the teams, our CS team just keeps going up and up as well in terms of, you know, improvement, our performance. We got so close to advance in that last season. And then, of course, we had Valorant. Since we entered Valorant kind of at the back end of last year, September time, we've seen a lot of growth from it. We've seen a lot of people kind of become fans of K10 through our Valorant program, maybe with our older UK team, Cam and Walty, or even, you know, our latest team with the Dutch guys. Obviously, coming into 2023, we kind of set our eyes on making VCL. One thing we didn't want to do, though, is we didn't want to just buy our way in, because, I mean, especially with Polaris, you know, you could just go and buy a roster there, but one, it doesn't really make a lot of financial sense to just buy in, and then second of all, that's not who we are as people. You know, we are competitors. We want to win, and we want to win fair, and, you know, we kind of want to rise up to the top. You know, one thing that, you know, I especially have been preaching, you know, on Twitter, what Taz has been saying in the spaces and what I've been saying behind the scenes is, one thing we are so big on K10, and we really mean this. It isn't like a PR stunt or anything. This is something that we generally try to, you know, introduce for all of our teams, is finding a group of players or building a roster and then working with them to the top. It's a cliche thing. Loads of people say it, but they don't actually mean it. We mean it, and, you know, we can back it up with how long we've stuck with our CS roster and what we've done in Valorant over the last 6 months. And the goal was to go from VRC to VCL, and we came within touching distance. I mean, there was a world where we definitely would be, you know, I'd be sitting here saying, guys, we've qualified for French Revolution. That's how close we came. But unfortunately, you know, kind of at the final hurdles, it just wasn't meant to be. Obviously, with that, the team decided that they don't want to stick together anymore, and that's not because of interpersonal issues in the team. I know people have been thinking, oh, X player is toxic, or these guys don't get along. I can sit here and tell you with 100% confidence, none of those reasons, well, none of the things are reasons for the org not continuing with that roster, or for the roster not staying together. With the way that the Valorant ecosystem is currently structured, because I know there's going to be changes for next year, this massive gap between the end of VRC and the end of VCL, and then the next seasons where it actually matters, is just way too big. And it didn't make any sense for this roster to stay together in any facet. All of these guys are very talented players. I would be very surprised if they don't have other offers for top VRC teams. I'm fairly certain some of them would get offers to at least trial for VCL teams as well, because that's how good they are. And I don't blame them for wanting to explore their options. The gap is just simply too big. For K10, we are going to stay in Val. I think that much is obvious by what we've been saying on Twitter and in public spaces and in private spaces. We're going to be staying in Val. I'm not gonna lie, I don't play the game that much. I'm a CS player, but ever since we kind of started building teams, and especially with this team, I've come to really appreciate those people that play at the top level of this game. I've come to realize how complicated it is and how much effort you have to put in to be really good at it, and I honestly really enjoy watching my teams play. So the Valorant community has been really welcoming to us. In the UK scene, you know, we're kind of known, we did spend a lot of time there, it's fair enough, but kind of in the wider European scene, I think we've garnered quite a good reputation as an org. And, you know, we had a lot of people from the Benelux community supporting us in relegations, which is really cool to see. So we're definitely going to be staying in Val. What that's going to look like for now, we don't know. We've got a couple different options on the table, different regions, different level of competition. The end goal still remains the same. We want to be in VCL, whether that now means we do take the route of picking up a free agent team or an existing team, or whether we once again try to go through VRC. We don't know. We don't know yet. What happens there is to be determined. As I say, the off season is just ridiculous. Like, it's literally 6 months between now and the next VCL season. So there's loads and loads of time, even if any mid-season events do happen, for us to kind of figure out what we're going to do. Probably within the next month, 2 months, we'll be making kind of public statements and announcements as to what drops we're going to do. So if you're interested in Valorant, keep your eyes peeled there. Moving on, let's look at some behind the scenes stuff. I mentioned previously, the K10 staff team behind the scenes has grown quite a bit since the start of the year. We've obviously had the 3 creatives come on board. Liam's kind of doing part-time work for us socials, helping me out with content. Cam has been absolutely banging out the video content. I've not seen a single thing that he sent, like, you know, a little editing channel. He's like, oh, Ethan or Taz, can you look at this? And I've not seen a single thing where we're like, oh, that's bad. Every single thing he's put there, I'd be like, hey, this is fire. The guy's just insanely talented, and I'm so happy that we're able to welcome him back to the org. Obviously, originally a Valorant player for us when we first entered the game, and it's really nice to have that connection there, to be able to bring, you know, older players back, either playing or, you know, doing other stuff, other things that they're talented at. And he's been a fantastic asset to help us with our content drive. And then also we've got fl0wZ, who we've had since around April time. He's someone that I've kind of found just kind of, you know, through graphics design Twitter, kind of an unknown Turkish designer. And when I tell you that this guy is like one of the best esports designers I've ever seen in my entire life, it is incredible how this guy is signed to a tier 1 org already. And I think everybody can agree about the posters that this guy's makes. So all these little game day posters, the special ones that we put out, boot camp, relegations, the ones for the CS team, all of that, that's all fl0wZ, and they're just bangers. The guy is insane. And this has been a really important area for us to improve on from the start of the year. Because at the start of the year, it was just me. I was doing all the graphics, all the video, all the social media, and it was a lot of work, and I could handle it, but at the same time, because I had to juggle so many things, everything's quality kind of went down a bit because I had to do everything. And now we've kind of got, you know, this group of 4 people all working, you know, towards the same vision, but on different areas. You've seen everything's quality just go up so much. I can focus on building the storylines on social media, and I can trust Cam will just make absolutely banger content with whatever I tell him to do. I drop for a DM, I say I need a poster, and he comes and gives me the Mona Lisa. And it's been amazing, and I think that's been a very important part of our growth in this year. In terms of social media, our metrics just keep going up and up and up. Our following, our impressions are really good as well. So that's been really cool to see. And we're kind of building a fan base now. Like, we've actually got, you know, I can go into a CS game or a Val game, and I can, you know, and I can just see the same people coming up, and it's really cool to see we've actually got people who are interested in the story of K10 as a brand and in our teams, and that's, you know, exactly what we want to be doing. We want to give, you know, something for people to cheer for, something for people to support. At the end of the day, you know, we are a sports club, essentially, you know, just operating in gaming. So having a proper fan base has been really sick, and, you know, we all really appreciate the support. We're going to keep focusing on our content grind. I'm going to be doing more of these videos. Taz is going to be doing more of these videos. Kind of a bit more informative. It's more like what we were doing at the start. One thing, you know, that I would admit we kind of fell off on is content in the sense of introspective content, in terms of how the brand is doing, our thought process towards things, our goals and stuff like that. Because yes, we're still tweaking stuff out, but the videos in that department slow down quite a bit. That's something we're going to be picking up a lot as well. I know a lot of people are interested in how we do things. I know I get a lot of messages, and Taz gets a lot of messages from people asking about how we do specific things in social media, marketing, sponsorship, managing teams. And so we're going to be doing a lot more of these videos, and I think a lot of people are actually quite interested in that. And then on top of that as well, Taz is going to be leading Twitter Spaces. He did one whilst I was on holiday last week, and it was really cool. I had a lot of engagement with that, and once again, it's the same thing, it's the same introspective and informative content. You know, one thing that we pride ourselves at K10 is that we keep things honest and open. And, you know, doing this kind of content where it's just me sat in front of a camera or Taz on Twitter and the Spaces, is that We just get to talk and answer your questions and talk about the things that you want to know about that are going on behind the scenes in the org, and not just stuff about around the teams, not just match days. You want to know what are our plans for the future, what kind of sponsors are we going to be targeting, and stuff like that. So that's going to be a lot more, there's going to be a lot more of that coming, from now, not just in the future. Overall, our goals still remain the same. We want to create a sustainable business model kind of within K10 and with all our other assets that we're going to be building out. We're still going to be trying to make what we call smart business decisions when it comes to our teams, when it comes to what events we go to and stuff like that. Because I know people think that we have a lot of money, and I think, to an extent, we definitely, have a fairly decent amount of resources. But that doesn't mean you have to spend them all, You still need to be clever, and you still need to think about ROI. And we're at a point in esports where you can't just think about exposure anymore. You got to think about, how am I actually going to garner and build a fan base off these certain decisions, and how am I actually going to see monetary return in the long run from these decisions, and not just how many people are going to be watching the stream. And that's something that we've been focusing on a lot kind of since April time. We've seen, our content push is definitely a result of that. On top of that, obviously, we still have the goal of kind of, growing to become one of the larger UK orgs. It's a very long-term goal, guys. It's years off before we get to kind of, an endpoint kind of level. But that is where we want to be. I mean, and if we didn't want to be there, and if we just wanted to stay as, a bedroom org, then there wouldn't be any point in even existing. So we're still kind of working towards that end goal of becoming a proper full-time UK esports team. And, we're slowly getting there. We've only made progress. We've never really kind of fallen off at any point. And I think that's really, really strong, that we can just constantly make slow and steady progress. And if we keep this up, eventually we will get there. But yeah, that's it from me. I've recorded about 20 minutes of footage. I'm unsure how this is going to be cut down yet. I hope this provided a little bit of insight into some of the things that we're working on right now, specifically with Val. This was just kind of a little bit of a brief explanation. There's probably going to be more specific in-depth videos coming soon from myself and Taz. So looking out for those if that's something you're interested for. But yeah, that's going to be it. If you enjoyed watching, make sure to subscribe. Make sure you like, follow us on Twitter. As I said, we're going to be doing a lot more of this content. But just make sure you tune into the K10 story, because at the end of the day, we're here to entertain.